Hi guys! So today we're going to talk a little bit more about how light functions. So first, take a moment. This is the visible spectrum. So given all of the wavelengths of the visible light spectrum in nanometers, what is the frequency in hertz? So remember, you need to convert from nanometers to meters before you do your calculation. And we always know the speed of any light wave. Any wave on the electromagnetic spectrum moves at 3 times 10 to the 8th meters per second. So I feel you got these values. Just a little bit of practice. And now our electromagnetic spectrum, which hopefully you're now really familiar with. So we've got radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible, ultraviolet, X-ray, gamma rays. And we know that the more we move to the right, the higher the energy, the higher the frequency. So gamma rays are way dangerous, and that's because of all the energy that they have. And electromagnetic waves, they can diffract, refract, disperse, reflect, right? So all the things that any kind of wave can do, electromagnetic waves can do. So just like sound, light can also experience the Doppler shift. So it's a wave, it can experience the Doppler shift. So I'll post the link to this video so you can see how that works. I'll also post the links to these two videos. These two videos show how light can behave as both a particle and a wave. And the fact that light can behave as a particle is actually really important. We call this behavior, we call the particle of wave a photon. So whenever we talk about light as a particle, we call it a photon, and we can find the energy of that photon. So energy is equal to h times F, and h is a constant known as Planck's constant, because some guy named Planck did stuff with the particles of light. So photons are moving energy, and they can deliver energy to different things. So low energy photons are absorbed by your skin. The energy is converted into heat. High energy photons travel deeper into your skin. This energy excites melanin in your skin. So this is why when you're sunbathing, sometimes you get burnt, because some of the high energy photons have actually entered your skin. So now, this is again our visible light spectrum. We already found the frequency. Now let's find the energy of these waves in electron volts. Okay, so I've given you Planck's constant up at the top here in electron volt seconds. And an electron volt is just a way to measure energy. And here we go. You'll notice the electron volt values, what we like about them is they're not in scientific notation. So a lot of times we'll use this instead of joules, which is what we usually measure energy in, to make our values a little bit easier. So in an atom of hydrogen, an electron orbits a proton. This simplified model is called the planetary model of an atom. So I've got my nucleus with my proton and neutrons probably, and then a single electron that's orbiting around that proton. So if a photon is the wrong amount of energy, the electron will not absorb it. So all the time, our atoms are being bombarded by energy. But if it's not a specific amount of energy, the electron doesn't care and nothing will happen. Now, if the photon has enough energy, the excited electron can be excited to another level. So the more energy the photon has, the more levels the electron will move up. But again, it has to be a specific amount. So in this case, the electron absorbed a specific amount of energy that allowed it to move from this level to this second level here. So let's think about this with me. So photons will only be absorbed if they are the perfect amount of energy. So here, imagine this is a staircase, and each step corresponds to a specific amount of energy, right? So I have 2 electron volts, 3.5, 4, 4.5, and 5 electron volts. And this is kind of the way energy levels or the orbits in an atom work. They're kind of weird amounts. They're not perfectly even. So if I eat an energy bar that gives me 3.5 electron volts, 3.5 electron volts, can I make it up the stairs? And I can, right? So that corresponded to a perfect amount of energy. It corresponded to the step that had 3.5 electron volts. So I'm able to move to that level. And now how many different ways can I get back down? So I can move from the 3.5 electron volt to the 2 electron volt step, then to the 0 electron volt, or I can move from 3.5 all the way down to 0. So that's 3 separate ways that I could get down. And each way corresponds to a different amount of energy being used, right? So from 3.5 to 2, that'd be just 1.5 electron volts. And then 2 to 0, that's 2 electron volts. If I go from 3.5 all the way down to 0, that's 3.5 electron volts. And each of these energies correspond to a specific frequency of light. So now what if the energy bar gives me 3.7 electron volts? What will happen? Absolutely nothing, right? I can't go anywhere because I can't exist between the step that has 3.5 and the step that has 4. Like I can't hover there. And electrons are the same way. They won't exist in a space that doesn't correspond to a specific amount of energy. What if I got 7 electron volts? That will actually enable me to leave the staircase. So it's a greater amount than the max that this staircase has, 5 electron volts. So I'll be able to just, keep on moving, keep moving it. And again, electrons are the same way. If they absorb enough energy that brings them past the outermost energy level, they'll be able to leave the atom. Now, how many different ways could I get back to the energy level 0, what we would call the ground state? Well, I could take each step, 5 to 4.5, 4.5 to 4, 4 to 3.5, 3.5 to 2, 2 to 0. So right there, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could also skip steps. I can go from 5 to 4, 4 to 2, 2 to 0. Right? Or 5 to 4.5, 4.5 to 3.5. The possibilities are endless. So take a moment, actually figure out how many unique energy levels could we move through.